Hey gang, it's Steve with Guitar Center. We're at NAMM 2024. We're hanging out with Brandon in the Yamaha booth. We're going to check out the latest Pacifica guitars. How you doing, man?
Doing really well. Excited to have you guys here.
Yeah, well, you know, we got to be out here living the NAMM dream, and part of that is brand new guitars. So tell us what we got going on here.
So we're super excited. We've announced 2 new models to our Pacifica line. This is the Pacifica Professional in my hand here, and down there we've got the Standard Plus. This is really a revamp of the Pacifica line. They're kind of rethought from the ground up. We have some really great high-end features on these and a lot of new innovation in the guitars as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. We had a couple samples in for photo a couple weeks ago, and the first thing I noticed immediately was the feel. They felt super comfortable and like really fast. So can you describe to me a little bit of what's going on the neck there?
Totally. So we have a brand new Slim C neck profile that's on both guitars. In addition to that, both models get stainless steel frets. So by the nature of the Slim C, the stainless steel, they're very fast, it's durable, it's smooth for bending. As far as the radius goes, Professional is actually a compound fingerboard radius. It's 10 to 14 inches. So it's nice and a little rounder for your chords in the low frets, and it gradually flattens out for your soloistic stuff at the higher frets. And Standard Plus is a fixed radius of 13.8 inches across.
And then you guys also have a really smooth neck carve in the back on the heel. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we're really excited about the body contouring on this guitar. So we've redesigned our neck heel here where it slants downward and it contours into the body. So when you're zipping up to those high frets, you really don't even notice that there is a neck heel. It just feels like the continuation of the neck itself. And in addition to that, we've improved our arm bevel up here. We've improved our belly cut in the back. And yeah, overall, super comfortable guitar.
And you know, one of the first things that I noticed once we broke these out of the case was the little R on the pickups. So can you tell me what's going on there?
Yeah, a lot of people are excited about that little R. So these pickups are brand new. They're called Reflectone pickups. And Yamaha spent about 4 years developing and designing these pickups in collaboration with Rupert Neve Designs.
And so what was that process like, and sort of what can we expect out of the sound of these pickups?
Yeah, so there are a few key elements, things that we wanted to achieve with these pickups. In traditional guitar pickup building, there's kind of a trade-off between the bass and the treble. If you want to increase your bass response, you sacrifice some treble, and vice versa. The goal of these was to get as wide of a tonal palette as possible, where we have both a present bass and an airy, shimmery top end. We achieved that with these. They have a super wide frequency response. They're really clear. The word hi-fi has been used by a lot of customers. The idea here is that provides ultimate versatility to the player. No matter what genre you're in, no matter what tone you prefer, you're kind of starting with the entire block of clay, and then you can mold it into whatever you like.
That's really cool. So what can players expect to experience when they finally get their hands on these things?
Yeah, I think the first thing for me, as you mentioned, when you pick up the guitar, is the feel of it, the comfort, and the resonance. Even unplugged, these are extremely resonant instruments. That has a lot to do with our acoustic design process as well, which we can dive into a bit. And then as the lighting changes here on us.
Well, it's NAMM. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, once you plug it in, the pickups just hit you immediately. They're so responsive, they're so balanced, and they're just so versatile.
Well, we got a couple visual examples here. This is really interesting to me. I always love when we get to see like the inner workings of the instrument. So can you talk to us a little bit about what's going on with the body there?
Sure. So Yamaha's acoustic design process includes a lot of 3D modeling, and essentially our engineers can make a 3D model of the guitar. They can test out a bunch of different configurations of chambering and, you know, things of that nature, and then they can run virtual simulations and see if we make this change, what happens to the resonance of the wood. What our engineers figured out is that if you add these slits under the pickguard area right here, it serves to decrease the stiffness of the body in that area. When you flip it over in the control cavity, there's a bar running through the control cavity that increases stiffness in that area. So we're playing this balancing act across the body. And what you end up with is a body that's universally resonant. There's no like dead spot and live spot. When you play this thing, even if you knock on it, the whole body resonates really in unison, evenly across.
All right, that's awesome. I'm anxious to hear it. I'm wondering if you could walk us through some of the different pickup positions just so we can get a quick taste.
Totally. So as we mentioned, these are Reflectone pickups, co-developed with Rupert Neve Designs. We've got an HSS configuration on here, and the humbucker does coil split in that bridge. And this is a true coil split, so you're getting that real single coil sound in there. So I'll run us through some examples starting on the neck, and I mentioned the versatility, so I'll try to hit a few different spots that way. Yeah, so you can really get like a jazzy tone out of it in that neck position. If I start combining the neck and the middle, now you get a bit of that quackiness, that sort of classic middle position sound. So this is what that sounds like.
That's a classic quack in there.
Yeah, definitely a classic quack. And moving into the middle position, you can get kind of funky with it.
Nice.
Yeah, and the return to pitch on this tremolo is excellent as well. We're using Gotoh hardware on this instrument. So these are Gotoh locking tuners and a Gotoh 2-point tremolo. The 2-point trem, the locking tuners, and the Graphtec nut, really it returns to pitch so well. I have no worries about using that bar and falling out. If we move into mixing now the middle and the bridge, here's what it sounds like.
I like that one. A lot more mid-range information than I would have thought.
Totally. It's got a nice present mid-range, but also a lot of clarity. Like that last chord I played is a pretty dense voicing, but you can hear every note in between. It doesn't get muddled up or anything. And also, once you pull out that coil split for the bridge, we're still in that same position, but now the bridge is split. You can hear the difference. I'll play the same kind of thing.
Nice.
It up a bit.
Yeah.
Finally, just moving into that bridge position, I'll put it on the humbucker mode, and this is kind of what you get.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's sort of like peeking through with that like extremely tasteful mid punch.
Yeah, totally. This cuts through a mix really well, and you can kind of craft it into whatever sound you want. And then the last sound, I guess, would be the bridge pickup with the coil split on. And you can even kind of get into I'm not a country player, but I'll try. You can get into a little bit of that territory.
All right, so Brandon, what I've heard is we've got the Standard Plus in stores now.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then the Professionals are on their way?
Professionals are on their way soon. These are being made in Japan.
The new Yamaha Pacifica Standard Plus and Professional. Check them out at GuitarCenter.com or your local GC.